How did I become a jewelry designer? Well, I got hit in the head. Hard. There was blood and everything. And no, I am not kidding.
Hi guys, I'm Chanel and I'm the creator of Solace Designs.
I'm originally from Guyana. Lived in the UK since I was a teenager, and one night I was at work. I worked for an events company in London, and one night as we were tidying up, this huge stack of tables, they were on a trolley, and they fell over and hit me on the side of my head. I was shaken, I was confused, I was disorientated, and I got zero help from my employer at the time. They sent me home without any help, without even a taxi service, without even calling to check how I was. But one of my really amazing colleagues, she called me as I was on the train home. This was maybe nearly midnight that night, trying to get home. And I told her I was feeling dizzy. And she said to me, you need to get yourself to a hospital to make sure that you're okay. So when I got home, my mom took me to the hospital to get me checked out. But I was having headaches. I was not feeling great. That's kind of where it started, because after that I realized that when I put my hands out to stop the table from basically crushing me, I put strain on my back, and I guess I pulled something. I think the adrenaline was so much at the time, I didn't even realize that I had done something to my back. As well as my ear. My ear actually got, I think, cut when the table hit it. So like the cartilage in my ear kind of split. So even now, even though it's been I'm not even sure, probably well over 15 years since then. And even now, the cartilage in my ear is still, if you touch it, it feels like it's kind of broken, if it's possible for cartilage to be broken, but I can feel a distinct healed wound whenever I touch my ear. And after that, I had some serious problems with my back. I found that I couldn't be on my feet for more than 10-15 minutes at a time.
I couldn't lift my right arm for very long, so I basically had to teach myself to be ambidextrous. Well, I'm right-handed, but I couldn't use it for very much. So anything like reaching on top of a cupboard to get something or reaching into a cupboard above head height was impossible with my right arm. So in the end, I had to teach myself to do most things for months with my left arm. I couldn't lift my right arm above my head. That's how bad it was.
It was a really hard time because I couldn't work. I couldn't do any activities anymore. I could barely operate by myself around the house. I couldn't lift my left arm above my head. That's how bad it was. So I think I pulled some kind of muscle in the back. I don't know. Even to this day, I still have some problems with my back. So I'm constantly stretching it out pretty much every morning for 15 years. Longer. I have to make sure that my back's properly stretched out to keep the pain in the muscle from, bunching up and just getting really tight. Because when I have an attack, if I don't do my stretches, I can be in a bit of like almost chronic pain for days. So during that time, during my convalescence, I was stuck. I couldn't get out of bed, not because I didn't want to, not because my spirits didn't want to. I physically couldn't be on my feet for longer than 10 minutes at a time. So I'm a person who needs to be doing something. I love activity. So I needed to keep my mind occupied during this time. So I got lost down the internet trying to find something to do. And I don't remember. I think I kind of came across kind of craft things. Some people making stuff with beads and making jewelry and doing beading and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, that's interesting. Now, at this point in my life, I had never, ever been interested in jewelry making. It never even crossed my mind. So I did the obvious thing. I got on eBay and I started ordering a whole bunch of things. I ordered beads and wires and findings and tools and pretty much anything an amateur jewelry designer could think of to start doing something. So I was doing very simple things, kind of like this, just basically making loops, threading beads, attaching them to findings, learning how to attach hooks to this, sort of very simple pieces like this, right? I even did some sort of beaded bracelets, a whole bunch of stuff like that. So I did those, and then I kind of progressed onto other things. I started buying crystals like these, and started just simple things, threading them in, making loop earrings. And I really, really love these ones because I got inspired by the Jamaican flag, and I thought, green, gold, black, perfect. So I made a whole bunch of things like these, and just to pass the time. And I found that making jewelry actually took my mind away from all the crap I was experiencing, and the fact that I couldn't get up. I needed my mom to help me with pretty much everything, and this kind of went on for months actually. So I guess my back was injured in a worse way than I thought on the night, because it took months before I felt anything approaching normal, and I couldn't work in all of that time. So I needed an outlet. I needed something to do to pass the time. So I got onto YouTube, started scrolling, started finding lots of possible things I can make, and I started, of course, investing even more money in my newfound savior hobby, so to speak. I even started experimenting with making chainmail jewelry. I would make them sort of separate pieces, or I would attach crystals to them, and I thought, that's interesting. So that took my attention for a little while, and then I started experimenting with making dream catchers. So I focused for a little while on getting some just normal thread and sort of learning how to do the dream catcher pattern. I worked on some of that, and then I found tumblestones. Now that sealed it for me. When I found out about tumblestones, I went a bit crazy. I went out and invested even more money in a whole bunch of tumblestones, and I learned how to make very simple wire wraps with them, and that was really, really exciting. And then I learned to make these beautiful coiled, I got a little machine which I could use to coil copper, and I learned how to make this because I saw some people online were using this coiled wire to make pendants, and I thought, wouldn't those be really cute as just little quirky little earrings? So I learned how to make those. So I went down that rabbit hole for a little while. Then I started playing around a little more with wire weaves. I've got a slightly unhealthy obsession with ancient Egyptian history, so I decided to do this. Well, I made a bracelet. I decided to make the Eye of Horus. So I don't know if any of you know much about ancient Egyptian history, but you may definitely recognize this pattern. It's basically an eye. So you've got the outline of the eye right there. I've put in some crystals to be the eyeball. And I've coiled, this is brass wire by the way, coiled the brass wire, gave it an eyebrow. Now I really, really love lapis lazuli stone, so I made a little charm to hang off it right there with a cute little coil. So I wear the Eye of Horus bracelet. I made only a couple of these because they're pretty difficult to make. And I gave the band kind of a beautiful woven band there. Yeah, then I expanded my skills and I learned how to do even more detailed weaves. So let me show you an example of what I started doing. Started getting even more intricate with my weaves. So I started creating pendants like these. If you can see, this is very, very detailed work I started working with. I loved working with stones, so I kept stone pendants, and then I kind of created my own unique wraps with them. This is tiger's eye. This one is green quartz, so I started doing a lot more detailed weaves. Now this is made with copper wire, now bright copper wire, right? Like this one right here. But I oxidized it to give it this more rustic kind of look. So I started working a whole lot more with things like these. Worked with some agates. I kept the same weave I was doing with the earrings, but right there. So I started playing around a little more, and I even got inspired by a Prince. Well, the Prince. Prince, as in the singer Prince. Now, he had one of the coolest looking guitars out there. So I got hold of a rose quartz donut-shaped stone, and for some reason, just looking at that, it made me think of the big part of a guitar. And then I went a little wild with copper wire, and then I kind of let it flow. Very much inspired by Mr. Prince. The Prince. The only Prince. And yeah, that's my story. That's why I came to jewelry making. It kind of was my salvation when I was going through a really tough time. And now, still at it, I'm still loving it. I'm still creating new, beautiful things. If you're based in the UK, you can pick up some of my pieces via my coffee shop. That's ko-fi.com/Solace Designs.
Good things come to those who wait. So for those of you who stuck around until the end, I've got a special treat for you. 10% off across my shop. So head over to my coffee shop, That's ko-fi.com/Solace Designs to receive your discount. Use the code SOLACE10 at checkout. It's valid until the end of November.